Okay. Hey, family. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we have a couple more guests with us today. I'm sure you guys remember the last episode. We had Chase. And then we have a new guest as well.
Hi, guys. I'm Chloe.
Yeah.
Whoa, Chloe.
Yeah, so guys, remember last time it was me, Andrew, and Chase. Like, we had a really great episode. And unfortunately, Chloe was out of town last time we filmed. And she's like, oh, like, I really want to come on. I thought that was interesting. And she's like, once I get back, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm down. So that was kind of cool.
I'm excited.
She saw one of your travel podcasts, and she had to take a trip of her own.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's kind of cool. Yeah, so, like, tell us about yourself a little bit. Like, give a little intro.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Like 2 sentences.
Let's see. I'm from Arizona originally, just moved back down from Seattle after being there for a few years. So loving the sun. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
What's your favorite color?
Chat a little. My favorite color?
Yeah.
Oh, good question.
Ooh.
I'm going to say like a lavender, like a soft purple.
All right, I mess with it. Mine's red.
Really?
Because I'm cool.
I
What's
like
yours?
azul.
Wait, what's that?
Blue?
I think.
You're funny. Cool. Well, that's cool. It's nice to get you on here. So I'm super excited. So my first thing was I kind of want to jump into your trip that you went out of town. Yeah, like tell us a little bit about like where'd you go? Like why'd you go?
Yeah.
What was that?
So my best friend lives outside of Fort Worth. And so I regularly go over there every few months to visit her. But this time was actually kind of a special reason. We ran our first half marathon.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay. How many miles is a half marathon?
13.1.
Dang. So how'd it go? Like what happened? Like, was it cool? Did you finish?
It went well.
Like,
yeah, we finished.
That's
It went
cool.
well. The goal was to finish. It was the first one. So we didn't have, a timed goal. I was actually pretty anxious going in because neither her or I ran a little bit in college, but not a ton recently. And, I was kind of nervous we'd be the only people there that didn't look like professional runners.
Understandable.
And it was actually a really inspiring experience because there was a whole bunch of different types of people. They had a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and then a full marathon. So my best friend and I ran the half, and then her brother and some of his friends, they actually ran the full, and it was their first time doing that. So it was just a cool experience just to see, what it was like and everything. Yeah.
That's so cool.
How hard did you have to train for that?
We had set a training goal. We decided to do it back in November, so that would have given us like 5 months. The first few months, we were pretty serious about the training. March and February were a little tough in terms of training wise. So we want to do another one.
Okay.
Kind of let go on the training a little bit.
A little bit, but the goal was to finish and we finished. So I think next time when we do it, we'll be more serious about it and try to stay with, they have different pacing groups you can actually run with. So I think we'd probably do something like that and try to hit a specific time. You just want to, the challenge this time was to finish. And so the next time we'll challenge ourselves with the time and try to hit that.
What about a full marathon?
Gosh, I don't know. When we were on mile like 8 or 9, we started seeing the marathoners that were in first place like lap us.
Oh, geez.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So the course was set up so that the whole course was 13.1 miles. So the runners that were running the full had to run the course twice. Which mentally, I don't know if I could have passed the start and gone again. Like,
Facts.
just seriously, mentally.
Facts, yeah.
When we saw the first place marathoner lap us towards when we were towards the end, absolutely.
How did that make you feel?
Crazy. Honestly, I mean, we expected to see it. It was just neat because he honestly made it look so easy.
Effortless, some might say.
Yeah, which definitely wouldn't have been the case for me. Maybe it's in the future. I'm not going to say near future. I'd like to do a half kind of and hit a certain time with that before I
love that
challenge myself further. But it was really inspiring to see the runners do the full.
Matt, I heard you've been running lately?
Yes, I have. I was going to talk about that in a sec. But
yeah, you told me last week you were running like a couple miles here and there. I was like, whoa, Matt.
Hey, so, okay, I was going to say, are you going to drop the time your half marathon was? Like, what was the time?
the time wasn't good. We ran it in about 3 hours.
Oh, that's good to me.
I mean, yeah, it's good
head,
to me too because we
13.2.
wanted to finish. We
facts.
we didn't end up fully running the whole thing. We had to walk a few miles.
You had to get taken out on a helicopter?
miles 8 through 10 were a little tough, but I'm happy with the time. I felt super accomplished, and I think next time, I mean, it's all about consistency. So
endurance. Yeah. Honestly,
seriously.
100%.
Yeah. So if you can keep that.
Props to you, because I could not have made that through.
Facts. Yeah. And I feel like I've had friends who, well, Andrew specifically, as you guys know, he's ran a full marathon. He did that about a month ago, and he told me a lot about it and the experience. And I just thought it was interesting because like he was consistent. He trained for a long period of time, and he really enjoys running.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. It's one of those things. Well, this is kind of how I feel about working out overall. I enjoy it for like the physical benefits, but for me, like
mental
moving
too.
my body, it's a mental thing. And the half marathon, pushing my body that hard is not something that I've done before. I didn't play a ton of sports or anything like that in high school, so it was just cool to challenge yourself in that way. And I definitely don't think I couldn't have done it without my best friend, at least this first time, because it was so cool that we
Big facts.
had each other. We literally just talked the whole time. So
that's so important. And I think for me, I've gotten into running. The whole reason I got into running was because my favorite YouTuber runs a lot, and he
really?
like inspired me to run. And then like my friends and like some business colleagues of mine, they've started to run. So I feel like it was kind of a trickle effect down. Like the guy I like on YouTube's name Iman, which he's like got like 4 million subscribers, right? And he runs a ton. So it's he did a really cool video like a couple weeks ago. He ran 3 marathons on 3 different continents.
Oh, cool.
It was ridiculous. So
That's
he did
insane.
He did Los Angeles, South Africa, and London.
Wow.
Yeah, so he did Europe, North America, and Africa in 7 days. So he was like flying
Wait, like one after the other?
in 7 days.
Unreal.
That's crazy because the whole week after our half.
You're dead.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wait,
So imagine doing 3 in 7 days in 3 continents.
I think we have breaking news.
What's
You
your-
talked about your friend. I think you have something to share. Something happened to your friend during
Oh
the
yeah, what
run,
happened
or-
to your? Oh yeah,
Oh.
you told me. I thought I heard.
In terms
inklings
of-
the story, but I didn't. This is the
Like,
full.
not
She'd
everything
love-
went so well.
Not everything went so well in
She'd
the
hate me
marathon.
telling this story. No, that's okay. So yeah, when we were getting towards the end, the last few miles, it was we were at the point where I was like, we can't stop, we can't slow down, because
Fact.
if we stop or slow down,
Push through.
I'm
Push
not going to
through.
be able to keep going.
Facts, yeah.
So I was kind of on the verge of cramping up. Nothing was bothering me specifically when we were running, but her ankle kind of halfway through had started to bother her a little bit. Not cramping, but kind of just hurting. We finished, and then we were waiting for her brother and his friends to finish their full marathon. Right after ours, we went home, got some sandwiches, and took
What
like
kind
a
of sandwiches
3-hour
from
nap.
where?
Jersey Mike's.
Oh, solid.
Whoa.
Solid choice.
The
Solid
Philly?
choice.
No, not the Philly. I got like an
cheesesteak
Italian.
or-
That's my classic.
That's your go-to?
That's
Okay.
my go-to. Yeah,
Okay.
always
Love
an
that.
Italian,
Love
like
that.
spicy Italian.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then our plan was, to go out later that night because
Nice.
she's from Fort Worth, but everyone else that was running the marathon is from here.
Oh, cool.
And so everyone flew
cool,
out.
cool.
So we were like, we'll make a trip of it. We'll go out. They have this really fun place to go out in Fort Worth.
Yeah, like you just get done draining all of your calories, so then just like go drink
Then you
them
drink
back,
your
know?
calories
Yeah.
back.
So
Calories
did we-
out, calories in.
Yeah. So did we drink? I mean, I think I made it through like one, and then I was like, I'm exhausted. But anyway,
Facts. Yeah,
long story short, the next day honestly, I'd never felt that sore in my life. I thought when you work out, how sometimes like the day after can be the worst, but then
Yeah.
the second day you feel better, and it's
100.
almost like
100%.
a good sore.
Yeah.
That was not the case. It definitely got worse the second day. And for me, it was just generally my legs, but her ankle kept bothering her to the point where it was even bothering her when she wasn't moving on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
what
not-
happened?
That's not good.
I don't know. So anyway, she went to the doctor, got an x-ray about a week later, and she has a stress fracture.
She
Poor
broke
thing.
her foot just from
Running a
running
half.
in the marathon.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys wear the correct shoes?
Yeah, I mean, we both wore Hokas. We
Oh,
both.
those are good. Those are solid
Yeah.
brand. Solid brand.
Don't shout out Hoka. No, don't shout out Hoka.
Hoka's
Breaking
not
ankles over
sponsoring
here.
this video.
I loved mine.
What color?
Mine are like they're kind of not. I'm not rainbow, but there's multiple colors.
Okay.
Little pink, little blue. They're cute.
I mess with it.
Those shoes are expensive too.
Dude, really
Yeah.
expensive. Hoka's revenues are going crazy.
Yeah. No, they're worth
especially
it.
after this video.
But anyway, yeah. So I guess my dad was telling me, and he's ran a few marathons before and a few halves, and I guess he was telling me that stress fractures are
Common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not uncommon when, because especially if you are running or walking like unequally on one foot, and sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. You're putting more pressure onto one side. So
Facts.
anyway, so she has a boot for the next few weeks.
Poor thing.
I'd have to run a half marathon to even like experience that, and that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, it's so crazy. Like two things about running. So kind of my backstory on running was with Iman, and basically like I saw him running. It was kind of cool. And also recently I've been trying to do things that like stress to put myself in uncomfortable positions to like get mentally tougher. That's been my thing the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So like running is really hard. It's really hard. So like I've been running like 1 mile, 2 miles, like 2.5 is like my max.
Outside
and,
or on a treadmill at the gym?
Both.
Okay.
So I did a mile a couple days ago at the gym on the treadmill, which was cool. But I enjoy the outside running, especially right now. We're in Arizona and we're in the best time of year, so like it's beautiful out. So I want to take advantage of the weather before it gets like super hot.
Yeah.
And then I might have to run like inside, which will suck. But I really enjoyed it, and I just feel cool.
It
Man,
does. It
you
does
are
make
cool.
you feel cool.
I do okay. but yeah, so that's been one thing. And then I remember a story when we were in Austria. Freaking Andrew gets up at like 6 a.m. and they're like, "Hey Matt, you want to go run?" And I'm like, "No. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to run right now. Like, it's 6 a.m. Like, I'm going to sleep. We didn't get up till like 2 a.m. last night. Like, I'm not going to run." And he's like, "Okay." And I go back to sleep till like 8 or 9. And they come, him and our roommate come back and they're like, "Yeah, we just did 7 miles." And I was like, "What?
What?
Why?"
You're on vacation.
Exactly.
Dude.
That's what I'm saying.
It's one of those things though, like working out, where when you're consistent
Runner's
with
high.
it, yeah, I mean, it just feels so good. You almost feel like you have to keep doing it. Like, I feel like that's actually a really good space to be in.
Facts. Yeah,
You
I
know?
get that. I just didn't want to go like so early. Like 6
Oh
a.m.
yeah, I mean, you couldn't
'Cause it was,
catch
like,
me on vacation
at
doing
6
7
a.m.
miles at 6 a.m.
Yeah. And they ran in Switzerland, they ran in Austria, and I was just like, "Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay in bed."
That's funny. No, me too. My my dad and my little brother are runners.
Yeah.
And my little brother, for his 18th birthday, ran 18 miles. That's what he wanted to do on his birthday.
That sounds disgusting.
His friends like followed him on their bikes the whole way.
He's crazy, man. Like he runs he'll be like, "Hey, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. and running like 20 miles this morning," and his girlfriend will follow him in her car.
That's interesting. Okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Like
That's hard.
support.
That's
you know?
hard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's shout out to him, because again, I think mentally toughness. Like if you can run, you're really mentally tough.
Yes.
That's
He
what
just
I've
does it
learned.
for fun too.
So he must be a mentally tough guy, because if you can do that, you can do anything.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And that's why I kind of related it to business, because like Iman's really successful at business, and I feel like one of the reasons he's so successful is because he's a big runner and he's really mentally tough, which then makes him better at business.
I honestly, in the half marathon, that's what I was saying. Like it was honestly inspiring. There were so
Facts.
many people, seeing so many people and so many different types of people
Yep.
push themselves to keep going. Don't push yourself to the point of injury. But that's what I was saying about the full marathon.
Maddie.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, yep. She
Bleep
did
her
on
name out.
accident.
Just
Yeah. But
Not the first time I've done that.
But I mean, it definitely, that's why I wasn't, that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if ever I'll get to a full, because
It's difficult.
I do think there's a point where it's more mental than physical. If you
Facts.
can run a half at a decent pace and you're pretty comfortable, you could do a full, but I agree with you. I think it's kind of the mentality piece of it and the mental endurance that takes.
True. I think I'd like to do a 5K.
Oh, that's a great place to start.
I think.
I'll do one with you.
Yeah. Now, okay, wait. Question. So how
Let's all
many?
do one.
It's 3.2 miles.
Yeah, 3.1 something.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a good starting place because that's something I think that's my goal because my max is like 2.5.
Yeah.
And I was dying.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 5K
right?
would be perfect for you.
So 5K I think would
Yeah.
be a good like starting point, and I think that's like my goal is
Yeah.
to do a 5K. And yeah, and I'm in my running era, as they say.
I love that.
But yeah, so yeah, that's our running experience. I thought that was kind of cool to talk about, to be able to like talk about your trip and
By the
your
way,
running
I like
experience.
don't run, so like props to y'all, not me.
We'll get him out there with us.
Well,
actually,
it's so funny.
We could all do a 5K.
Oh yeah,
You
we
could do a
should.
5K.
Yeah, 100%. 5K is not too
if
bad.
we get like Cold Stone or something afterwards, I'm down.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We could do cold. That's the carrot on the stick, baby.
Yeah.
Oldest trick in the book. Dude, AirPods make it. Did you listen to music or did you guys just talk the whole time?
So we brought AirPods and we were gonna maybe share them, like each have one.
Okay,
you know?
that's cool. That's a good idea.
But no, we just ended up talking the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it took 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is your friend a big talker?
Yes, we
Yeah.
both are.
Yeah, y'all can-
And like we she lives in Texas, I live here. When we call on the phone or when we FaceTime, we honestly don't do it super often, maybe a few times a month, because we end up talking for
Like
like 3 hours
Yeah.
and she's 2 hours later. So
It's hard.
after like I'm done with dinner and like ready to
Work.
chat, maybe she's like in bed and she has to
Facts.
get up for work early. But yeah, we're both, and then we only see each other every few months, and so the whole time like she was like, oh my gosh, I have a story from like December that I have to tell you.
You're like, wow, it's May.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wow, that's so last like 6 months ago or 4 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
and honestly, like the second half of it, we were just talking about just finishing.
I bet you're
and
like, let's
looking
get this
at
crap
everyone
over
else.
with.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
like, there was a point where her brother, who was running the marathon, we saw him on kind of like an opposite side of the track, and we
Yeah.
were like walking
100%.
at the time, and we were like, oh crap, we better like get running.
Like, let's go.
I'd be hardcore people watching the whole time.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun. Did you see any interesting people or stories or anything?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. There was a 92-year-old woman that finished before us.
What? 92?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before she finished before you.
Yes. She has a
Oh.
faster time than us.
Shout out to her. What
We
was her
gotta
name?
train.
Do you know
we
her
gotta
name?
train harder.
No.
Dang.
Was she on one of those like electric wheelchairs and she
No.
just like
No.
like sped by?
and honestly,
That's funny.
Yeah. And like, honestly, we were seriously, when we first got there, because, it started at like 7:30. We got there at like 6. Everyone's getting
Like
hyped
ready
up.
and
yeah. Stretching, and I really thought, I was like, this is just gonna be embarrassing because we're gonna get here and like I don't feel like I necessarily look like a stereotypical like runner.
Yeah,
And so I
no,
was
I
like,
get
this
that.
is gonna be really embarrassing. And there were so many average people. There was a lot of older people that did the half marathon. We saw a lot of like couples that were doing the half together and either just jogging or walking it.
Facts.
It
yeah.
was really cool.
That's sick.
It honestly was like you could do it if you wanted to.
A 92-year-old beat you, okay?
All we wanted to do was finish. Okay, she'd probably done a bunch of these.
Yeah,
anyway.
she probably she's old, so.
Next time she won't.
She look good?
Yes.
She didn't look 92?
No,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Probably
No.
not, right?
You should have like got her autograph or something.
No, for real. Yeah.
Might be worth something.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so my next question, how did food work in this 3 hours? Did you guys eat anything?
So I was like actually really concerned about that because I don't know about you guys, but when I work out, I like to have an empty stomach. I don't know if you're supposed
light,
to do
Yeah, me
that.
too.
light
Me
stomach.
too.
Like, yeah, like a banana.
Yes,
Or like something
a banana.
super light.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't want to
Dutch
feel all,
Bros.
I don't know about Dutch Bros, but no, like because you want to feel light. You don't want to like be bloated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
When at least like when I'm pushing my body like that, it just doesn't feel good if I have food in my stomach. I don't know what it is.
Facts. Yeah.
So we were
I
actually
agree.
like, oh my gosh. So we asked my dad because my dad had
Is
ran
runner.
a bunch of them before. And honestly, I don't know what the marathoners did because if we would have run the marathon, it would have taken us 6 hours, which I feel like is a lot different than 3.
Oh, facts. Yeah. Yeah.
But we got up at about like 4:30 that morning.
Oh wow. What time did it start?
It started at 7:30,
Oh,
but it was
okay.
an hour away from where she lived.
Oh wow. Okay, makes sense. So you guys had to drive.
Yeah. And then, you're supposed to get there like an hour and a half early. Anyway, so we got up, we each had a banana, and then
Smart.
we bought like some Cliff Bars
Good.
to keep with us on the run. And I think we split one like halfway through.
Yeah.
We had an energy drink on the way. I didn't know if that's I don't
Good or
think real
bad?
runners do that.
Probably not.
But I was like, it's 4:30 in the morning.
I'm
I
tired.
need to have something. And then along the way, you know, they have like every mile or two, they have little stations, and they
Yeah.
had like Gatorade, water, orange
Oh,
slices.
how thoughtful.
Yeah, the
Good.
orange slices were so fun, and Orange Theory sponsored it. So they were
Oh,
like,
nice.
every 2 miles, there was like Orange Theory coaches like yelling at you, which was honestly helpful.
Oh, I bet. Like,
So-
yo, keep going.
Yeah, and
Come on, dog.
okay,
You got this.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts,
Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
are like always hyped. And then
Yeah.
something I didn't know also, pickle juice.
Yo, we have this thing at the office, pickle time, because we have a bunch of pickles.
What?
We have 4 jars of pickles.
I love pickles in
I
general.
love, like, basically what happens is
like a little snack break.
we have 4 jars of pickles in the fridge, and we just eat pickles sometimes. And we all like them, so it's a vibe.
I mean,
Makes you work harder.
Not really.
it's just a little. It's a morale thing.
It's just a fun thing. And then we're starting our own company called Pickle Time, and then that's gonna be our pickle brand. Because name me
that.
pickle brands right now.
Dill. Oh wait.
Heinz. Don't they make pickles?
Is there
Trader Joe's has bomb pickles, but I don't know.
Okay,
Great value.
Is there a leading pickle brand that just
Yes,
comes to mind?
it's the one that's like green and yellow. Like
Yeah, but what's their name?
I couldn't tell you though.
See, their marketing team's not doing a great job.
They suck.
Yeah. So Pickle Time. that is my me and my co-founder's company.
Do you
We're
need
gonna
an
make
investor?
We'll do it. We'll talk. We'll talk later.
No, but anyway, pickle juice. They had pickle juice.
Yeah.
With the water.
Okay.
And when you drink the water or Gatorade or whatever, they literally look
Is
like
it
they're
like
in
a
little
cup?
like shot cups. Like they're very
Yeah,
small amounts because
yeah,
you don't want
yeah.
to have to go to the bathroom.
That makes sense.
And apparently, pickle juice gets rid of cramps.
Oh, that's
So
cool,
towards
'cause
the end, we
the
had
salt in it.
we had 2 miles left, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like my ankle is gonna cramp up. And so I had some pickle juice, and I don't know if it was the placebo effect, but it worked.
LeBron James needs some of that
Some pickle juice.
in the fourth quarter.
we should
For real.
inject him with pickle juice.
Yeah, and I like pickles.
From
so.
Pickle Time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's sponsoring this
Sponsor.
video.
Oh, wow.
Our next sponsor, Pickle Time. Anyways, yeah, that's so cool though. I'm so happy for you that you finished. And
Thank
also
you.
I have family in Texas, so I'm familiar with the area.
Oh, where?
Well, they used to live in Keller and now they live in another city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What city were you in?
The marathon was in Irving.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've
which
driven through there.
was so nice.
Oh, dude.
It was
It's bougie.
really nice. Like
Keller-
it was beautiful.
Texas got some rich people.
Yeah. Like we were
Yeah.
running. They had us running. We started kind of in the downtown area.
Yeah.
And that was really nice. And then we ran, there's a lake there. We ran around the lake and all of these really nice condo buildings. And then we ran up through these neighborhoods, which were absolutely gorgeous. That's what we were looking at half the time where the house is.
That's what you need. You need some motivation. Like, I want to live here.
home shopping and running.
Yeah.
Shopping and running. Wow, look at that one.
3 million.
Yeah.
3-car
4 million.
garage.
Yeah.
4-car garage. Oh, that's 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's so cool. Well, I'm really happy you got to do
Yeah,
that.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that's kind of cool. All right. So my next question that everybody has been asking me to ask, well, not really anybody, but I just wanted to ask it. So, what do you think the top 3 things girls look for in guys these days are?
Good
That's
question.
a hot.
I've been waiting for this
topic.
question my whole life.
Hot topic.
Hot topic now, guys. So here we go. So
Wow.
we're ready. We're coming in hot with this one.
I hope I represent women well in this.
Okay.
That's a really good question.
Thought of by yours truly. Pickle Time is sponsor.
First thing that comes to mind is sense of humor.
Oh, okay.
And I don't mean that in just purely like a he's got to be funny type way, but I think it's more of like a way in which you approach life. I think it's important to have a sense of humor in life in general. Like things happen, good and bad things that you can't control.
Laugh about them.
Yeah, and if you're looking to like partner with someone for the rest of your life, you want someone that can, make
Jokes.
lemonade out of lemons or whatever the saying is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think, if he's funny, like that's
attractive.
definitely
to-
a bonus.
to women,
yeah. And I think for a lot of women, like if he's funny, that'll do it. Like period.
Now, do you think what is the definition of sense of humor? Because being funny and sense of humor are 2 different things, right?
Yeah. I think, and I guess,
Because being funny means I'm going to tell you a joke and you're going to laugh.
yeah.
And then sense of humor is like how you take things on the other side. right?
Yes. Like
Yeah.
you can dish it and you can take it.
Yeah.
Good mixture of both.
Now, do you think people have issues sometimes that when a girl comes at them, guys have issues with girls coming at them too hard and then they get sensitive? Is that a big issue?
Oh, like guys teasing girls.
And then the girl comes back and then they're like, oh.
I think depends on the guy.
Gotcha.
I kind of like that to a certain extent. You know, I think also, I don't know if this is separate or the same as sense of humor, but like banter. Being able to go back and forth and not just serious conversations. That's important too. And that'll be another one of my points. But I think just being able to have like a light, fun conversation. I think a lot of guys, especially when they're looking to like meet a woman, are just too serious.
True.
Like it's not that serious if she doesn't like your joke or like she doesn't like you. She's not the one anyway.
Facts.
You know, like move on. It'll be okay. Same for women, but like, yeah, I think that's important. I think you have to approach it in like a light mindset.
What's your thoughts on inside jokes?
Oh,
does that go under the sense of humor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. That because you could have like an inside joke and then
you're
like, oh, that's funny. You see like the pickle time. That's your inside joke, and like, oh,
I feel like that'll work with like that could work with like a friend to lover, like coworker to lover trope. You know, like just have the same inside jokes with them when you see them at work every single day. And then
because you could be like a coworker or it could be like a relationship depending on the situation.
I think inside jokes are flirting. I think that
unless it's two guys.
Like she said, like a coworker. I mean, if you want a coworker, how do you get them? Just start flirting with them a little bit, but like not serious because you know you're at work and it's like they're not expecting it to be real, but like you're kind of being real.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like after a while, it's like, oh shit, this guy kind of likes me.
Chase is good at this.
I like inside jokes. I've made a lot of inside jokes with a lot of people in my day.
The sunglass hot girl. Shout out to her. Nah,
inside joke.
That was like one of my coworkers, like what, 10, 12 years ago.
That's
18 years ago. I don't know how old I am.
That's funny. Yeah. So definitely sense of humor is a big one. I definitely agree with that. And I think like having like being funny, having a sense of humor, having the inside jokes, I think those are all great attributes to have. Yeah. So that's number one. So sense of humor. Number two.
And I don't know if these are in like any order of
no order
importance necessarily, but
but obviously the first one was important because I saw you like light up right away and they were like sense of humor and
it's
I'm like
close to the top of my personal list. Like that's very up there. I don't know if that's the same for everyone, but
facts. Yeah. No, that's understandable. Number two.
Gosh.
I know it's hard. Well, and you can put some thought into it because I know like these are important things because sense of humor is definitely a big one. I've seen a lot of girls, but like seen a lot of relationships happen, and definitely that's definitely a huge one that I see.
Like, would you guys agree with that the other way around?
Yeah, sense of humor is important because you want to be like funny.
I think it's more in the way that the woman takes your sense of humor.
True.
Like the banter piece.
Like, can she get along with it? Does she let you be you, or does she kind of hold you back a little bit? I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but if she kind of restricts your sense of humor and your personality, then like that's not really who you are, and it's not going to work out. You know, it'll work out for 5-6 months, 2 years, but it's not going to work out after
forever.
That.
Yeah. Because then people important. Like can after the longer you're in the relationship, then people like don't take you as lightly. They're more like, they get annoyed easier. That's
definitely true.
Yeah, they get annoyed. They're like, that's not cute anymore. Anyways,
yeah. Everything's fun and cute at the beginning. Always.
Yeah, this is the honeymoon stage, and then after that, it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Do we actually like each other? Like, who knows? But I always like pickles because it's always pickle time.
Pickle time.
Yeah, sponsor this video.
I can just see it right now, like above
pickle
here.
Time. Yeah, pickle time.
That's awesome.
Flavors coming soon.
Okay, number two.
See, that was funny. Sense of humor.
I'm going to say, this is kind of broad, but I'm going to say consistency.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So being consistent with your actions, not your words?
Definitely actions.
Yeah.
At least for me, and I think the majority of women would probably agree with me on this. I think especially in today's dating world, especially if you're talking about like hookup.
That's what all my guests say. Oh, I'm so nervous. What are we going to talk about? And then 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Then I'm comfortable. Then I'm talking. Then you can't get me to stop talking.
All right. So we got number 2, consistency. Back to what we were talking about, consistency.
Yeah, I think just in general, and I think with any relationship, I mean, even friendships or relationships with family, when someone tells you they're going to do something, that they follow through. I think that's a big piece of it.
Yeah.
And being able to be there and support you kind of regardless of any like outside factors. I think if you're talking about, you know, if you're looking for a relationship with someone,
like a real
I think that's
relationship.
like what a lot of women look for. I think that often says a lot about a man's character.
I love that. Well, I think, okay, I'll give you an example. So does that mean like, okay, I'm going to buy the girl flowers one time, or am I going to buy the girl flowers like every quarter or like every 6 months? Is that kind of an example of consistency, or tell me if I'm wrong? That might be a stupid example.
Well, I mean, I think I think that's just a small example.
Yeah.
But I mean, not that you have to be consistent, like, oh, every week, because
Chocolates
I think
or
women
whatever.
like a little bit of the
Mystery.
like, I say consistency, but then at the same time, I'm like, it's also fun to kind of not know what to expect sometimes.
You just have to be good at a relationship. You know, it's not that hard. You just got to keep them interested and keep them wanting to come back. That's really the bottom line.
Facts.
Like Chase will
They're dating, by the way, for context. Yeah, we probably should put that out there.
Whoa.
Whoa. Outing us to the world.
Just kidding. Bleep.
But Chase will, like the flower example.
Yeah.
Will get me flowers like every once in a while, but it's like a randomized thing.
Yeah, you don't want like
I don't know when
every
he's gonna
3
do
months.
it. It's not every like week or something. It's not every time I
Facts.
see him. But I think that makes it more
Special.
There's flowers upstairs.
There
right
are.
now.
Oh, there's flowers upstairs.
On her office desk right now.
Wow,
Yeah.
guys, what an example. What an
Wow,
example.
he's good.
I read The Room without seeing The Room.
Yeah.
I'm just that good.
Yeah, you are.
Just kidding, I'm not. Anyways, pickle time. Anyways, go on.
I think, yeah.
So consistency, I think that's super important because, again, you want to have a sense of humor. You want to be consistent with your actions, right? That's what I think. Because I think I hear a lot of girls talk about like, oh, he says one thing and then doesn't do it, or like says one thing and does another. So if your actions and your words align,
I think men get into a rhythm of like over promising and under delivering.
You should
It's
under-deliver.
very easy to do that.
facts.
And like we're good at it. I mean, you know, we are. So it's very easy to convince a woman, but then to actually like show
Action.
them and then have them like truly convinced to like actually want to be with you is a different thing than just convincing them to hook up or to hang out with you or something like that. So
I agree. Well, and I think what'd you say? You said they under promise, over deliver.
over promise
Or over-promise,
so, like, hey,
under-deliver.
I'm gonna give you the world, but then like I actually underperform, so I like actually don't really give you anything other than like my time, and you know that's really not enough.
Yeah, under promise.
under promise. Yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
if you're gonna do anything,
Yeah, whatever. You guys get it.
If you're gonna do anything,
Do it the other way, right?
set realistic expectations.
Facts. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna get you a new car next week, because
Yeah.
that's probably not gonna happen unless you're balling, like Mr. Chase here.
Lottery. I won the lottery.
Yay, we're all going to Monaco. Anyways, so yeah, consistency, important. All right, number 3. What's number 3?
So this one, I don't know if this would apply to all women. This is something that
Maybe for you.
this is just a
little bit.
personal one.
Yeah.
But it's something that I didn't know was important to me until after my previous relationship ended. I started dating him when I was 19, so I just didn't really know
You were young.
what I wanted.
Yeah, super young. Teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say number
hard.
3 for me, given like sense of humor and consistency, would be ambition.
Ooh, that's I think a lot of girls. I think you hit the nail right on the head with all the girls out there.
And I think like
yes.
if you're you know, whether you're looking to like just date someone and have a good time, or you're looking to like seriously be with someone, I think it's really important. I also think this is true for all women. The ambition is incredibly sexy.
Oh yeah, facts.
Hell yeah. Facts. I must have a lot of it.
Yeah, same. Me too.
So I think that's an important one, and I don't just mean
money,
financially.
Yeah.
It's really cool, I think, especially in what our world looks like now, to be with someone that has really big dreams and actually has a plan to achieve them. I think that's pretty incredible.
Facts. Say that for the people in the back.
Yeah,
literally. Dude, yes. That's so cool.
I think I personally love that. And I think for women that are ambitious themselves, it just doesn't work to be with a man who isn't. Not
ambitious.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm ambitious?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, the both of you are, for sure.
Yeah. That's why me and him are like so similar and like each other so much.
The ambition piece.
Yeah, because we're both like ambitious people. Facts.
And I think not just
talking
about it.
Yeah.
Like, because that's one thing that some men are really good at is
painting a picture.
Yes. Like, it's actually insane. And I don't know if maybe I used to just not be able to see into this, or if I'm like alone in this, but it's like easy to fall for also. So I think the following through and the actual actions piece of it goes back to the consistency thing that I said is number 2, right? You can't just talk about your goals. What are you doing every day to achieve them? Dude,
it's so crazy to me because before we started this, like we were setting everything up, and Chloe comes over to me. She's like, "Wow, Matt, like, how'd you like learn all this?" And I was just like, "Oh, like, just my friends, YouTube." And then she saw me like setting it up. She's like, "Whoa, like." So that like you saw me doing the actual like actions instead of just like talk. Like I could tell you like, "Hey, I'm gonna start a podcast."
Yeah, I've said that before.
Right, but like we're actually like here like doing it.
Yeah.
So you like see like, oh, Matt's not just like saying he's gonna start a podcast or saying he's gonna do YouTube or saying he's traveling, like he's doing it.
Yeah, I think what she means is just the will to have like hunger and to always be hungry, because
facts.
Like, if you have that hungry mentality in business in your life, no matter what, like you're always moving forward, and nobody wants to be with someone who's moving backwards or kind of like staying flat. Staying flat for periods of time is okay, right? But you really want to be moving forward in any facet of your life. So,
facts.
Somebody who's hungry and has ambition and drive is always moving forward, or at least is trying to move forward.
Yep.
And if you're trying to move forward, you're at least showing somebody that you're willing to care and you're putting in the effort. So
yeah, and I completely agree. And I also think for women, it kind of just shows, like, I think hard work is important, work ethic is important, and to make a lifelong relationship work and to have a family with someone, that's hard.
That's hard.
That is hard as hell.
That's hard.
Facts.
You don't want to be with someone that gives up easily or is lazy or doesn't dream big. Right?
Facts.
So,
or someone that gets annoyed easily. Like we were at, I don't even know where we were at earlier today, and this like little kid had his we were at the Diamondbacks game last night. This little kid had his shoulder, his head on his mom's lap the entire game, and I was like, wow, like I would be so annoyed of that, but like that's what you have to do, when you're a parent, and like it's not about patience. you, and you have to understand that.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. I think that's a great last one. I think it's true, because like ambition and hunger, like doing things, and I like look back at the last 10 years of my life from like 15 to 25 years old, and I'm so proud of myself, like from where I started 10 years old, like where I am now, and then where I'm going. Because if you look at 15-year-old Matt versus 25-year-old Matt, you're like, wow, like I do like came a long way, and I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
The ambition is
and life can change. Life can change quickly.
Yeah, and it can be hard. But I think all three of your steps All three of your points are amazing because I think sense of humor, extremely important for men out there. You got to be funny. You got to be a good communicator. So that's really important. And then consistency. And I was going to talk, I had that point after this. Like my next thing was like, you have to be consistent in whatever you do in life. Because like my little rant was like, okay, if you're in college, you got to be consistent. If you're at a job, you got to be consistent. If you're on YouTube, you got to be consistent. If you're in the gym, you got to be consistent. If you're going to church, you got to be consistent, right? You can't just go like once and be like, oh, yeah, I went to church like one time last year. Like, okay, we're not consistent.
Yeah.
Like I only went to the gym 10 times last year. Well, there's 365 days in a year. Like, what are you doing? So, yeah, consistency is big. And then the third one, I love it, the motivation. And I don't think that's just you. I think that's all women.
I would hope it's all women.
Yeah,
I think maybe some women don't know that that's something that's important.
They're interested in.
Yeah. Until you get the opposite.
Do you think there's a difference between women saying, I don't want him for money and still wanting him to be ambitious? Because I think I see that a lot where they're like, yeah, I don't want him for money, but he's still like successful. So like, do you think there's a difference there? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely a difference. I do think there's some women that, and I don't even know if I would necessarily call that ambition. Just because someone has money, wealthy, doesn't necessarily mean that they have ambition.
That's
think
true.
A lot of times those are linked, but like, I don't know, an example, like someone that has family money or something like that.
Or they win the lottery.
Yeah, just from what, people tell you or men tell you about their financial
situation
status, like that doesn't honestly give you much view into their personality. I do know, I think specifically in some of the areas around here, I do know a lot of women where money is just, that's number one on their list, or that's high on their list. So Facts. I do think that's different. And I do think that women should be careful getting the two, like ambition
mixed up
and money, confused, because they're definitely different. And just because you're with someone with ambition doesn't necessarily mean they have money either. And
true.
I think that's something.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that is so
right,
true.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
I think that's something that some women is tough for them, because I think specifically people with ambition will probably go through more times in their life
of hardship.
Yes, financially, because you're putting
risk,
your own hard work and money into something that you believe in. So if you're just looking to date a guy that drives a nice car and can take you to like a really nice dinner every single night, someone with ambition might not be the person for you.
Well, I actually have never thought about that until right now, about the difference between ambition and money. Because I always was like, oh, they're the same, but they're not at all. Now that I think about it, if you have money, that means it could have come from family money. You could have won the lottery. You could have got lucky. You could have invested in GameStop, whatever. But like, if you have ambition, you could be broke.
Yeah. Very broke
and still have ambition. There's some guys who have ambition and money, which is cool. But I think that's awesome. That's a realization I just came to. The difference between ambition and money, because they're kind of connected, because usually it's a byproduct. If you have a lot of ambition, you'll probably have a lot of money.
Chance, or you have a bigger runway,
Facts.
You're an entrepreneur, like the person who makes $100K a year, like think of this, the person who makes $100K a year, to make $1 million is 10 years, but in theory, taxes and all of that, it's really like 15 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to make $1 million, if you make $100K a year, think about that entrepreneur who can scale his business to $1 million in 1 year, and boom, there you go.
Facts.
Right, but he might not be living a $100K
salary
lifestyle the whole time.
Yeah, but he doesn't pay himself
right.
a $100K lifestyle. He pays himself nothing, and he lives bare bones and drives Uber. But in 2 or 3 years,
he'll be in a better
spot. He's worth $5 million, and people don't realize that. Look at Brock Purdy. The dude's gonna have the biggest salary in the entire NFL coming up his way. But the dude lived with a roommate and drove Uber literally last year.
Isn't he he's from Arizona, right?
He's from Queen Creek.
Yeah, he's from Queen Creek, Arizona, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of that last point of like ambition, I think if we go back on like a small scale, like a micro scale, I think the way to win and have ambition is focusing like on the day-to-day tasks of what you need to do. So like if today you need to go to the gym, you need to work on your business, if you need to read 10 pages, you need to drink a gallon of water, you need to eat right. those are all the little wins that no one sees, which then go into like the bigger wins like everybody will see later. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think that's also where the consistency piece
comes in.
It's kind of interesting how all these are fitting together, but
effortlessly.
Right.
Like I told you before. So the thing that I've been trying to use in my life recently is like not trying to force things, just having things be effortless. Like, yeah.
I love that. I think especially when talking about relationships and like women
should come
like
effortlessly.
That's really important as well.
Should
and I think
be
that
forced.
goes back, to what I was saying about kind of the sense of humor, ability to communicate. Like I can tell you one thing: if you're trying to force something,
it ain't gonna work.
Well, she's not gonna like you.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not gonna work.
So
it should be like effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
If you got in life, just try to do things effortlessly, like at the gym. If you're gonna, even like I was playing basketball yesterday, and like if you try to force a jump shot, it doesn't work. Like if you're like, it should look effortless. They say like Steph Curry's shot looks effortless. Why does it say that? Because it looks like he's not trying, because he's good and it just works. It's effortless.
Well, he's also been consistently
and he's ambitious.
Like, think about the amount of times that he's
shot
practiced,
a 3 in an empty gym.
Yeah.
With no one around. So it's like, how many days can you shoot that 3 in an empty gym without anybody clapping for you?
A lot of
that
shit
determines
happens
your success
behind the scenes. Everything is forward facing. Everyone only sees what we put out there. Nothing,
the end product.
Yeah, nothing is seen behind the scenes. So the people who do work, like being a professional athlete, yeah, great, right? All the autographs and all that crap. Do you know how hard they work behind the scenes just so that they can look that way and show up to practice that way? Like, it's not just clubs and parties and money. Like, it is money and clubs and parties, yeah, but like, do you know the things that they do, the lengths that they go just to do that every day? And honestly, I wouldn't want to do it even if it came with $5-10 million. Like, I wouldn't want to put that effort in.
It's hard, yeah. And even like with YouTube, people see like, oh, the finished product, but you didn't see like the 10 times where like I didn't say the right thing, or I had to cut it, or I had to make 10 more videos or whatever, or the hateful comments, yeah. Or the like 5 years of like grinding when nobody even cares about your videos.
Well, that's something that I've heard with social media success in general from a lot of people, especially that have gotten super quick fame off of TikTok or something, is the consistency. Like a lot of the really funny, just kind of lifestyle
people influencers out
follow,
there.
Yeah. They're like, well, I just posted 5 videos a day every day for 2 years. And it's not that one of their videos just blew up overnight. It's they were consistent with it
and working.
Yeah. Dasha, the country singer.
Yeah.
She just came out, I heard yesterday or today on TikTok. She said that she's been doing this stuff for 10 years and no one's even cared. And she's like, all of a sudden in the past 2 weeks, everyone in the world cares about me now. And she's like, I'm still the same person. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been grinding. It's just now that you guys actually cared about what I'm doing. So it's crazy to think about that.
Well, and go back to Aman, one of my favorite YouTubers. I really look up to him. He lives in Dubai, and like I was like right by where he like stays and like the Palm and everything. And I thought that was so cool, and it inspired me because I'm like, it took him like 7 years before anybody watched any of his videos. It took him like so many years of like grinding and like clapping for himself and like shooting that 3 in that empty gym over and over and over. And now he's like huge, and it's like, I just resonate because I'm like, all right, like I'm grinding right now, like I'm in my 5-year Rocky cutscene, and then like eventually everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, like Matt's like a huge YouTuber and blah blah blah, and has a podcast and he's doing all these great things, but it's like you didn't see the first like 5 years.
You're gonna be the new Mr. Beast, right?
I don't know about Mr. Beast. He's on a different level, but I just want to be the new Matt McCraw.
Perfect.
That owns Pickle Time as his subsidiary company.
I think you said clapping for yourself. I think that's really important. I think that honestly goes back to what I was saying about just not taking life too serious, or the way that you were saying effortlessly. There's a lot of times in your life you have to clap for yourself. I don't know. I think sometimes when, or at least now when parents are raising children, at least I grew up with parents that, would say, you can do anything you set your mind to, and the sky's the limit. And then you go to college, and I went to college to study nonprofit management.
Yeah.
Did a few internships, and this was up in Seattle, and I wouldn't have been able to afford up there working.
It's expensive.
I wouldn't be able to live up there working at a nonprofit. So I ended up in the finance industry.
Yeah, and then moving back to moving back to Arizona,
to pay my bills. And
Facts.
I think just there's when you come out of college and you're, you know, those first few years, like the 22 to 25 age range is tough.
It is.
It's tough, and nobody's clapping for you.
Nobody cares about you.
You know, like
you're just a stupid 22-year-old.
Yes, and
that doesn't know anything.
You know, in college, like at least for me, I was still able to, hey dad, like read this paper, and he'd be like, great job, that's awesome. But waking up and working my 8 to 5 job Monday through Friday, like no one tells you good job.
Nobody
even
claps.
At work, sometimes you'll get like a thank you and an email, but
they don't care.
It's you. You know, you're at
for
the
a
end of the
long
day,
time.
You're clapping for yourself. So I think it's important to know how to do that.
I think, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of funny to say though, but like I think you actually need to physically clap for yourself. Like if you go to the gym one time, right? That's great, and you've never been before, and this like brand new to you. Clap for yourself, like in the car, like by yourself, and then like do it again because no one else is gonna do it.
Yeah, or just figure out what makes you feel good.
Facts.
You know, like
Facts.
for me, I had kind of a tough work week this week, and
it
was Friday, and I woke up and I was like, I'm getting a Dunkin' iced coffee this morning. Like I need it.
You're clapping
Chase
for
is
yourself.
laughing, but it actually makes me feel better.
Facts.
So I think just knowing how to do that, knowing how to take care of yourself, like give yourself, whether that's clapping in the car or that's like blasting your music on the way home, and whatever that is for you, find that, because you know, at the end of the day, I think especially in this time of life, or especially if you're in
your early 20s,
of that grind piece, like this is the time where
nobody cares.
Yeah, and we're working
very hard.
This is the time where you're working so hard to set yourself up for
the future.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And you got to really clap for yourself, because again, nobody's going to clap for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like it's just the truth, especially at our age range of, 18 to 30.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyways, so hey, okay guys, so that was kind of cool. We had another episode here today. We talked about Chloe's first half marathon, which was super cool, kind of, and then we kind of went into the different topics of like top 3 things women look for in men. That was kind of a cool conversation. And then we kind of just spiraled off into like motivation stuff, a little bit of business today, not as much as last episode, but give you a little taste. Talked about Pickle Time, my company coming soon. So that's kind of cool. Pickle Time. But yeah, guys, so that was it for this episode. I believe it's episode 20. So we're grinding. We keep going. That consistency.
My first podcast ever.
Wow. How do you think you did? What do you rate yourself 1 to 10?
I feel like I did pretty well, but I'm going to want to watch pieces of it back.
Yeah. I'm going to definitely like a 9.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you killed it. I mean, like the conversation flew effortlessly, right? Chase did a great job of putting his.
I'm a natural.
Yeah, and then Chase put his points in as well. You know, this is his second episode, guys. Remember, if you go back to the first episode, it was me, Chase, and Andrew, and then we got our second episode right here.
I'm a rookie, and you're on your way to pro.
Oh, dang. And I'm 20 episodes in. We got the mic.
Everyone knows me.
Yeah, Matt's the pro.
No, I'm not the pro. I'm only 20 episodes in. But yeah, guys, well, this was it for this episode, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Catch you later.
Bye.